Here's something that will make you angry. The US government developed a free, publicly accessible calculator to help citizens make one of the most important financial decisions of their lives. Then, when it saw that millions of people were using the tool incorrectly, instead of fixing it or writing clearer instructions, it deleted it. Gone. Removed, as if the problem were access to information rather than the quality of guidance. This single bureaucratic move says everything about how Social Security is presented to the American public. At an age when a wrong decision can have lasting consequences, you're expected to figure this out on your own, with incomplete information and under immense financial pressure. So let's set the record straight right away. Because the debate over Social Security timing, the decision between applying at age 62 and waiting until age 67 or 70, is one of the most distorted topics in personal finance. Today, I'm presenting the real model to you. I'll explain why applying early isn't just acceptable, but also the best choice mathematically and strategically. First, a metaphor. Think of Social Security as a faucet. In the wall of your financial life, there's a pipe that's been building up pressure ever since the first day you started working and contributing to the system. Every paycheck, every annual contribution, these are the things that create that pressure. Every time you delay filing your tax return after age 62, the pressure increases. If you wait until age 70, you'll reach maximum flow. Your faucet. You've paid the price for this, and if you wait too long, some of that water will evaporate. No one will reimburse you for unused pressure. Let's do the math correctly, because most people making this decision don't have a model. They just rely on their instincts. I'll use a fictional character named Professor Pat. Pat earned $90,000 in his final working year. This is roughly half the Social Security contribution cap and a realistic upper middle class income. You have three options. You can apply at age 62 and receive approximately $2,238 per month. You can wait until full retirement age, which is 67 for most of you, and receive approximately $3,198 per month. Or you can delay until age 70 and receive $3,966 per month. Standard analyses suggest this. Calculate how much money a low-risk investment will earn you over your lifetime. If you apply early, you'll receive a lower but steady payment. If you apply late, you'll receive higher payments for fewer months. The break-even point falls somewhere in your early 80s. This is where things get interesting. The Social Security Administration states that the life expectancy for someone who has reached age 62 is around 84, not the average of 79 at birth. If you haven't experienced any serious health issues by age 62, actuarial tables tell you you have about 22 more years to live. Therefore, if Pat lives to age 84, applies at age 62, and has a zero cost of living adjustment, he'll receive a total of about $615,000. If he waits until age 67, he'll end up with less money. Applying early yields a gain of about $72,000. However, by adjusting the life expectancy assumption by just 3 years, lowering it from 84 to 81, full retirement age suddenly becomes a better option. If you wait another 6 years and reduce it to 78, the best time to apply would be at age 65. The issue isn't whether applying is too early or too late. The issue is that no one knows when they will die. This uncertainty is the whole point. Now, the most overlooked variable in this discussion, the cost of living adjustment, or COLA. Most break-even analyses set COLA to zero and treat benefits as fixed amounts. However, Social Security adjusts benefits annually for inflation, and if your base benefit is higher because you delayed, your COLA increases will also be proportionally higher. 3% of $3,966 is a significantly different figure than 3% of $2,238. Over a 20-year retirement period, this difference becomes enormous. When you incorporate realistic COLA assumptions into the model, the difference between applying at age 62 and waiting until age 70 is not $70,000, but $246,000. This is an entirely different decision. This is the figure your advisor should be highlighting. Now, let's consider the 7 situations where applying at age 62 is the right decision. The first reason, your health is truly at risk, or your family history points to a challenging outlook. For example, if your father passed away at age 73, your grandfather at age 71, and you've previously had a heart condition, the break-even point calculation shifts significantly in favor of applying early. If you won't live long enough to accumulate enough months to meet the threshold, waiting for a higher monthly payment won't benefit you. Applying early ensures that you'll receive benefits from the system into which you've paid premiums throughout your entire working life. If a pipe is leaking, you turn on the faucet right away. You want to enjoy retirement while your body is still physically capable. This actually makes perfect sense, but it's often overlooked because of emotional reasoning. Research shows that retirement expenses follow a predictable curve. High during the early active years when your to-do list is still packed, lower during the middle years with a slower pace, and significantly lower during the final inactive years. Even if the dollar amounts are the same, the money you have at age 63 is not the same as the money you have at age 79, because your ability to turn that money into lived experience is not the same. There's a story about a man who postponed fulfillment throughout his career, always waiting for a better salary or a larger portfolio. At age 72, he retired with more wealth than he had ever imagined. He spent his first 2 years going to doctor's appointments. By the time he achieved true freedom, he couldn't even do half of what he had planned. He had the money, but he didn't have a life. This isn't a math problem, it's a timing problem. Your spouse can begin receiving spousal benefits as soon as you file your application. If your spouse hasn't worked long enough to qualify for a significant pension of their own, they may be eligible for spousal benefits of up to 50% of your full retirement age pension, but this applies only after you file your claim, not when they turn 62. It's when you file. Filing at age 62 starts this income stream years earlier. In millions of households where income inequality is significant, this situation means a substantial loss of monthly income. Imagine a financial advisor telling the higher earning spouse to wait until age 70 and that person nodding responsibly without anyone mentioning that their spouse has been out of the workforce for 20 years and has only minimal individual entitlements. A classic scenario. Your spouse has a high benefit entitlement but has been diagnosed with a serious health condition. This is the most counterintuitive and financially significant factor on this list. If your spouse is the higher earner and has a condition that could shorten their life, the spousal pension mechanism becomes your most critical variable. When your spouse passes away, you inherit their pension. So the strategy is this: claim your own pension at age 62, receive the lower amount pension while your spouse is alive, and then switch to your spouse's higher amount survivor's pension when the time comes. It's better to secure even a small amount of income than to get nothing at all and then move on to a larger source of income. This is the only scenario in which applying for early retirement is the most sensible choice, regardless of all other factors. The stock market has crashed. If you're using your investment portfolio for retirement and the market drops by 40 or 50%, selling your assets at a 50% loss to cover your monthly expenses has a mathematically devastating effect on your ability to recover. The risk of a shortfall in returns ruins retirement plans that look perfect on paper. If you start drawing Social Security early, you establish a guaranteed income base, stop liquidating your depreciating assets, and give your portfolio time to recover without having to sell at the bottom. Here's the aggressive version. If the market crashes before you start withdrawing funds, apply for Social Security and direct your monthly income directly into discounted index funds. While everyone else is panicking and selling, you'll be making discounted purchases funded by guaranteed government income. Taxes, especially what planners call the tax trap. If your total income exceeds certain thresholds, up to 85% of your Social Security payment may be subject to taxes. However, during a period of low income, such as when changing jobs, newly retiring, or trying to live off your savings, your payments may be taxed very little or not at all. After age 73, the mandatory minimum distributions from your retirement account significantly increase your taxable income. If your Social Security payments have already begun by then, you will have enjoyed years of lower taxable income before the wave of distributions hits. In certain situations, applying at age 62 is not a decision to retire early. It is a tax planning decision. You need the money. Life doesn't always go as planned. Even people who do everything right can face medical expenses, businesses go bankrupt, pension payments can disappear. Social Security is designed precisely for moments when circumstances demand it. Using it when you need it is not a planning mistake. That is the whole point. Let me illustrate this. Sandra is 62, recently retired, and has a husband who is 65. He receives a higher Social Security benefit, but has a serious heart condition. The benefit she receives at age 62 is $2,100 a month. Her husband's full retirement age benefit is $3,600. If Sandra waits until age 67, her monthly benefit will increase to $2,900, an extra $800. Her husband passes away at age 69. If she had waited, she would have received nothing from her own benefit for 7 years and would have switched to her husband's survivor's benefit anyway. By applying at age 62, she received approximately $176,000 from her own benefit before making the switch. In conclusion, take a calm, objective look at your Social Security decision. Applying early may be a smart move for tax purposes and to meet immediate needs. Sandra's example demonstrates a difference of $176,000. While delaying offers a guaranteed 8% return on your savings, don't overlook the incentives, conduct a break-even analysis, develop a joint strategy with your spouse, and review it immediately in case of emergencies. This framework is not definitive. It is a guide that takes your life into account. Make informed decisions and secure your future. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel.